Trent, let's go over your paper. It's looking good. I wanted to go over your grading with you. You used your LY correctly, your who, which. I didn't find a www.asia marked, so you didn't get credit there. Did not find a quality adjective marked. You did use your strong verb, was accepted. Your spelling was, there were no errors. I found a capitalization and a punctuation error, and we're going to go over those in a minute. No usage errors. You double spaced. You had your title. You used your MLA heading. Your sentence openers. Oh, I didn't see a subject opener. I did see a prepositional opener. So I want you to get where you can show me that you can use these tools for writing. Did not have an outline. That's what cost you the most. If you want to send me your outline for this, I will change your score. And your citation looked correct. So your score on it was 31 out of 44, which is probably about a C. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at what Jupiter places it at. But you lost 5 points here on that outline. So send me your outline. I'll change your score. Let's go ahead and go over your paper and then go over our new objectives for next week. Let me make it where I can mark on your paper. Overall, it was very good. There were just a couple of things, and these are the kind of things that I think as we write you'll come across, and it's hard to talk about them before you make the mistake, and then once you make the mistake we can learn to correct them. Right here in this sentence here, David Beckman was born to Ted Beckman, who was a repairman, and Sandra, who was a hairstylist. You have a compound part here, and compound parts do not get any commas on the compound parts, so no commas for compound parts. We do commas for compound sentences, and that's what makes it a little confusing. But a compound sentence is going to have a subject, noun, and a verb with the conjunction, and then another subject, noun, verb. And a compound part, you could have two nouns, two verbs, two prepositional phrases. So any compound parts do not get a comma, but compound sentences do. And right here, this is a compound part, and I can tell you how it's easy to tell. Born on May 2nd, 1975, and here in London, England, David Beckman was born to Ted Beckman, who was a repairman, and Sandra, who was a hairstylist. If it was a compound sentence and needed that comma, we would have a subject, noun, and verb on both sides. But we don't have a subject, noun, and verb. Here's our subject, noun, David Beckman. And he was born to Ted Beckman. And here's your who, which, who was a repairman, and Sandra, who was a hairstylist. So you have two good who, which clauses. But basically we have double object of the preposition. So David Beckman was born to Ted and Sandra. And since those are just double objects of your preposition, that's just a compound part. We don't need a comma. Now, if you wanted to make this into a compound sentence so you could leave the comma, you would have to change the sentence a little bit. Born May 2nd in London, England. David Beckman was born to Ted Beckman, who was a repairman, and Sandra, well, you'd probably have to change it a lot. And Sandra, who was a hairstylist, was his mother. And that way we'd have a subject, noun, and a linking verb on both sides of our conjunction. But it's easier just not to put that because you just need to start recognizing your compound parts. So remember, compound parts, no commas. Compound sentences definitely need commas. And I'm guessing here at his parents and siblings were committed fans of Manchester's United. I am guessing that is the name of a team, and team names are capitalized. Those were the only two errors I found in your paper. So good job on that. You were able to use a lot of the tools we've been talking about. So, you have your prepositional phrase, your who whiches, you're using your who which appropriately, was accepted, strong verb, ly. So overall, very good. So let's talk about our new objectives for next week. And the first thing that we're going to add is we're going to do a running head. This is part of MLA style. This is a formatting issue. And I'm going to show you how to do the running head. I want you to start including those on your paper. And then we're going to start working on a research paper, a 5-paragraph essay, which is our basic research paper format. But first, let's talk about the running head. And the running head, I'm going to have to close this, is under Insert. And where is it? It says Insert Header. Okay. Well, actually, we're going to use Insert Page Number. And we're going to put it on the top. And we are going to put it on the right. And it's going to show up right there. And you're going to write your last name in front of that. And then you're going to close the header and footer. And what will happen when you have that, it will appear on every paper and the page numbers will automatically change. So this is page 1 and this is page 2. And running heads are important, especially if you're turning in an actual paper. If a piece of your paper, let's say one page gets lost, it's easy for whoever has it to put it back in order. And that is MLA style. So from now on, I want you to always include your running head. That's going to be part of your grade. Also, always include your MLA header. That'll be part of your grade too. But we're going to start working on a research paper. And a research paper, let me get where I can write again. A research paper has this format, an upside down triangle, and then it has 3 rectangles. And then it has a right side up triangle. So this one is our intro, and then here's our body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, and then our conclusion. And for your homework, we're only going to do the body paragraphs. Your intro is actually written after you write your body of the essay, because you cannot introduce something you don't know what you're writing about. So once we have our body paragraphs written, it's easy to write an intro. It's hard to write an intro till you actually know what you're going to write about. And so when you're making a research paper, the first thing you want to do is kind of limit your topic so it's not too broad. And I notice you like soccer, and so you might pick something related to soccer, because it doesn't matter to me what you write on. I want you to write on something you're interested in, because we're practicing writing techniques, not necessarily factual information that's in your paper. So let's say that you wanted to write on soccer positions. And your first paragraph is going to be about the goalie. And your second paragraph is going to be about, I don't even know any of the names of soccer players. The only one I know is goalie. And I'm just going to put position 1 and position 2. So I'm assuming that, you might put referee. I know there's a referee in soccer. And so when you're going to do your research, after you've decided what your topic is, it has to have 3 points. And then you're going to find one source for each of these. Don't try and find one source that has all 3 of them in it, but find one source for each. So if you were going to write on different soccer positions on the field and you wanted to write about a goalie position, you'd find one source that would address, what a goalie does, where they stand, what their job is. So you would come up with some questions that you wanted to answer about a goalie. And then your second position, which all I can think of is the people who run around. I know there's a lot of positions in soccer. you would find a source that talks about that position. And then if you wanted to talk about, say, a soccer referee, find a different source. So for your homework, you're going to be looking for three sources. So your body paragraph 1 is going to be talking about a goalie. You're going to find one source for this. And position 1 on the field, you're going to find one source for this. And then let's say we did referee, you're going to find one source for this. So for your homework, you're going to actually be finding 3 sources and doing 3 outlines. So once you find your source, you're going to give me a 15-point outline on each source. So you'll be doing 3 15-point outlines on each source. So that's all you're going to be your homework, because you're going to have to be doing some research and you're going to have to be doing outline. So your source and your outline are due next Wednesday, 9 a.m. And these are going to be what you're going to write these body paragraphs from. So as you're doing your outline, work on limiting your points to 3 to 5 words and pick out your topics. So you're going to send me your sources and you're going to do the outlines. And that's your homework for next week. And if you have any questions, you can ask me at Grace. That's the end of the video.